Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Jerry from Bigelow Woodcraft, and we have a beautiful day today. I think it was in the mid-30s, sun was shining, and I'm going to take it. So I'm going to go out to the wood processor here, and I'm going to get splitting some wood. The wood that I'm splitting currently was split here, or cut a couple weeks ago, and I didn't have enough room in the tote to put it in, so I just left it on the conveyor. So I'm getting to that now, and then I'm going to get up above, and I'm going to cut some more logs, and we're going to fill this tote in no time. This wood splitter that I'm using is called the SuperSplit. I have the SuperSplit HD. I never knew much about kinetic splitters until I seen them run on like Ohio Wood Burner and Twin City Firewood. Jacob using them. They just seem to go through the wood with no problem. Now I'm splitting some maple and oak here. I think this is I can't quite tell. Let me see. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's a maple, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, is it white? Yeah, that's a maple log. And they split real easy. I'm splitting these relatively big. These are going in my boiler. These are 16-inch logs here. And you'll see in a little bit here that I'm going to smooth the chain to cut 20-inch logs. My wood boiler will take up to 4-foot logs with no problem, but you got to be able to handle that. So I'm going to switch it over to 20-inch logs here in just a minute. When I'm doing this by myself, I have to go up and down, up to the saw, then back to the splitter, then up to the saw, then back to the splitter. So I just got done splitting all that. Here I'm attaching the saw to the conveyor, and we're going to get going here. I'm cutting wood for 2024 and 2025 winter now. Here I am. I'm taking the cable from the winch. I'm extending it to the end. I have little loggers hooked at the end here. All I'm going to do is stab it right into the log. And then I'll pull the log along with the winch you see on top of that little A-frame I built. I'm using a Stihl 441 MS 441C. I bought this chainsaw probably 8 to 10 years ago. This log is probably from 4 to 6 or 7 inches in diameter. I'm not going to split this one. In a minute you'll see I'm just going to throw this one in the tote. There I was just moving the chain to the 20-inch mark. I was set up at the 16 like I was saying. It just makes for quicker cutting and actually quicker stacking. That seems to happen often. I try to start it with the brake on. I try to make a habit of using the brake every time I stop the saw, and if I got to reach through. It's just a good habit to get into. That handle I'm grabbing has counterweight at the back side of it, and it's probably 25 to 30 pounds of scuba diving weights. And that winch I'm using is just a Harbor Freight winch. It's actually the winch I use for car buckling. The reason I'm doing a voiceover today instead of talking during the video is because I wanted to get this done. I was running out of time that day, and I just wanted to get this done. So this is why it was important to have that catwalk the entire length of the processor, just so I could walk back and forth. And you're going to see here, I have 22 foot of this catwalk, and it allows me to walk down to the end. I need to put some steps down at that other end though. And as I pull that log in, it's going to advance the log that I'm currently working on. When it gets to my chain, the 20-inch mark, I'll pull that handle down and I'll run the saw. Well, after a while, I realized I forgot to put that tub underneath the chainsaw to catch some of the sawdust. So I'm going to have a mess here in a minute. But I do realize it, and I will adjust that here shortly. This log was a wreck. It had that big knot in it, and it's also got a big swoop in it. So it kind of made this one a little difficult, but we're able to get through it. My conveyors are 30 inches wide, so you can see how big of a curve that is. It goes from one side of the conveyor to the other. Here I am, like I said, I was going to throw those 4 to 6 inch pieces into the tote. I'm not even going to bother splitting those. Those look like, yeah, maybe, I don't know if I moved the chain yet or not. I think I did. I already think I moved the chain, so I think those are all 20 inch pieces. But that's the beauty of that roller conveyor, that gravity conveyor. They just stack up and they just keep coming to me. I don't have to walk back and forth. I'm not bending over. My back feels good. And when I was younger, I've been picking up firewood for years. And when I was younger in my early 20s, you know, it wasn't a big deal. But I'm 58 years old now, and it gets a little sore after a while. So doing it this way, it might take a little bit longer. However, I'm not bending over as much, and it's just easier on my body. So you might be wondering how much wood I have to cut. Every year I need to cut anywhere from 12 to 15 cord of wood. I often will have more wood down in the forest and I won't even pick it all up. I've cut probably 3 or 4 or 5 more cord that are still laying in the woods from last year that I will pick up sometime this spring, probably after my knee heals. A good rule of thumb is you can get 1 cord of wood per acre forever if it's a properly managed forest. I've been cutting on my land for over 30 years now, and it doesn't look like I even touched it. One year I had 200 trees taken out of there from a logging service, and I cut tops for a few years. It's grown back up. I've been cutting trees for my wood mill. Last year, I counted over 200 trees that died from either a gypsy moth invasion or oak wilt, mostly black and red oak. So there's no shortage of wood on my property, and we have 75 acres of oak. So where my house is here currently, we have a 20-acre parcel, and just around the corner, we have another 55 acres, which is within a half a mile of this land here. So no shortage of wood. At one time when I was younger, when my daughter was in high school, we were selling wood, and she was also helping. Her and her boyfriend were cutting firewood, and one year we sold 40 cord of wood. And like I said, you can't even tell in the forest that we've even really done anything. Here's the SuperSplit HD kinetic splitter again. I am just so impressed with this. I have a hydraulic splitter. It's not a box store splitter. It was built by somebody local. Works great now that I had a new pump put on it and the cylinder honed out, but it can't compete with the SuperSplit. Now, it's not an Easton made or anything like that that's going to really push out the wood, but for me, like I said, I only cut 12 to 15 cord of wood a year. It'd be hard for me to justify spending that kind of money on a 1222 or something like that from Easton Made. Now, if somebody wanted to get me one, I'd love to have one, or I'd even love to try Easton Made or a Wolf Ridge. But this SuperSplit is a big upgrade to my game. You know, and even before the SuperSplit, I was using that other wood splitter. Prior to that, I was using a maul. My other house, we'd burn 3 to 5 cord a year. That had an inside wood stove or a wood furnace in the basement. And all that was split by hand. So a splitter is not necessary for me. I had a little trouble getting through that log. Sometimes it'll twist just a little bit on me when the log gets a little shorter or it just turns a little bit. You usually can finagle your way through it. You see how this one goes. Yeah, that looks like it's going to go right down through. This is a pretty nice white oak log. These are really pleasant to cut. They're quick, and you get usually 2 nice splits out of them. Like I said, I don't usually cut them too small. To split them too small, it's not worth it for my wood stove. All this will season for a year. The way I rotate my firewood through my wood room. So this stuff might not even get burnt until the following season. But most likely towards the end of the 24-25 season. I'll probably go into the 24-25 or this coming September, October with about 6 to 8 cord of 2-year-old wood in my wood room. The conveyor is getting pretty full here, so I'm just trying to push them off to the side so they'll roll down to the other side, and that way I can get more onto the conveyor. Otherwise they'll just stack up. So I can push them side by side. It does make a lot more room. This is a good view exactly what's happening. You can see I'm pulling that along with the winch there via that winch rope and that log hook. So what's your thoughts, guys, on this format? Do you like me just doing a voiceover like this sometimes? I thought it was a little different. I kind of enjoyed making this video. So let me know your thoughts. I'm just kind of talking as I'm watching it after I edited it. Here's a view that lets you know how high I am. I'm 2 feet higher on the conveyor where I'm cutting than I am down below. That conveyor slopes 2 feet. And that ends up just a little bit higher than the SuperSplit. I didn't want to have to lift anything up. I just wanted to grab it and turn it. And that tote filled up pretty fast. I think this log right here will probably fill that tote up completely. I'm gonna guess it took me probably 45 minutes to fill that tote. I wasn't going fast, I wasn't rushing anything. You know, in that tote, I didn't necessarily stack it, but I threw it in like I was stacking it. So it's gonna be pretty close to a face cord because I do heap it up too, as you'll see here in a little bit. Boy, that SuperSplit just slides right through that stuff. Occasionally you get a knot. If it stalls, all you have to do is push the handle down and pull it back up to re-engage the rack. Let the flywheel spin up again and just re-engage it. It's like hitting it with a maul over and over again. And it looks like that's going to do it. So you can see here, I'm over the top, so we're pretty close to a face cord. And that's everything my tractor has to lift up. So I'm going to go dump this, and I'm going to come back out later tomorrow or the next day, and we're going to split some more. Like I said, I'm going to need anywhere from 12 to 16 cord of wood. I'm going to have to cut this year. Oh, there's that 3-point turn. Oh, I guess I'm just going to go right through there. I have a bunch of lumber stacked up right behind me, so this is kind of difficult. I need to make a little bit more room. But it was a good day. The sun's out, and guys, it's working flawlessly still. So I appreciate you coming around. Thank you very much, and we'll see you out at the lumber yard next time. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and hopefully I can answer them for you. Take care. Have a good day.